Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Sean, also known as Film Guru. I started this channel at my particular stay on movies and a variety of other film content, so thanks for joining me today. I want to apologise for the amount of time it's been since I've done the last video. It's just there hasn't been a lot I really wanted to talk about in my environment that I live in. It's a bit hard to do these videos, so just had an opportunity to do it today, so I thought I'd take it. Today I'm reviewing A Haunting in Venice. This was once again directed by Kenneth Branagh, and this is the third film in what has become the trilogy based on the Agatha Christie books and the character Poirot. This once again stars Kenneth Branagh, and new to this franchise is Michelle Yeoh, Jamie Dornan, Tina Fey, Kelly Riley and a variety of others. This film follows Poirot, now retired and living in Venice in his own exile, wanting nothing to do with cases and live a simple and normal life. When a famed novelist, played by Tina Fey, arrives, she convinces Poirot to come to a seance. She's trying to work out what exactly is happening, and she's trying to work out whether it is an actual haunting or if someone's playing games with her. Poirot reluctantly accepts the chance to go to the seance. But when one of the guests is murdered, it's up to the former detective to once again uncover the killer. This one, I liked this film, but it felt like a little departure from the other two. It felt smaller and much more contained, which is odd to say, I know, because the first film's set on the train, the second film's on a boat. But there was much more happening. We got to see much more of the world in the first two films. And in the journey he goes on before the train and the boat. It's this sort of long journey he goes on, and I kind of liked that, and it made the film seem much more bigger than it actually was. Where this film takes place in Venice, we open in Venice, and everything takes place in this one sort of house in Venice. So it just felt much more small and contained. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I just felt like because of that, it was missing something. It didn't feel like the others. But like the novel itself, it's really taking Poirot in a different direction. It isn't so much this killer that he has to work out. It's about proving whether there really is spirits or if it's all just made up. And it kind of tests Poirot in that way, and I like that aspect to it. And I thought the cast was interesting. A lot of actors I've seen in bits and pieces, but not the normal cast you would usually see, especially in the two previous films. Jamie Dornan is really great here, an actor I'm not really a big fan of, but I think he gives a good performance. Kelly Riley is really good as usual. She's always good at crafting and creating really fascinating characters. But the real standout here, besides Kenneth Branagh, is Michelle Yeoh. It's so wonderful to see her in this sort of world, taking on this character that's kind of doing the seance, and she's really interesting and funny, and there's different levels to her. And we see her twists and turns of her character in the film. Now, she isn't in a lot of the movie, but the scenes that she is in are really fantastic, and she really steals the show. She's proving once again how much of a brilliant actress she is, coming off an Oscar win, but still providing really great performances. I like the setting. I did, even though it felt contained, I did like the setting. I liked Venice. I like it was set in this one sort of place. And it's sort of they're trapped in this place and trying to work out what's going on, much like the train and the boat in the previous films. But this sort of takes a different thing. I like the supernatural sort of feel to it, the darkness, the mystery. You're not quite sure what's real and what's not. And as the film unfolds, you start to question these characters that we've seen. You start to question the characters we've been introduced to, and you start to wonder if Poirot is starting to believe what's going on, or rather he's not quite sure what's really happening. It has a real gothic feel, especially the way it's filmed with tilts and particular shots that are made within the house. I really like that. I like that it was sort of darker and it was raining, and there was a lot of sort of mystery in the air to the film. When Michelle Yeoh's character first appears, she's draped in a cape with a mask and is on this sort of boat coming in, which is really great. Visually, it's got some really striking moments in it. There is a bit of humour there, but it's really taking a darker turn and making it a bit more darker than we'd previously seen in the other two films. Yes, the other two films had some darkness in it, but not quite like this. I think it was a very interesting and brave choice for Branagh to take an Agatha Christie story like this and really show Poirot in a different light in a way, and I thought that was really great. I think he's a really talented director. I think he delivers a really solid and interesting film that really feels like the time and place it's set. And he's really good at his creation of visuals in the film are really, really great. As the film unfolds and you start to try and piece what's going together. Things aren't quite what they seem, and I like that. And I like this sort of Poirot starts to see things and he doesn't know whether they're real or not, and I think that was really great. It's a real psychological thriller in that way. It's really about the mind and the perceptions of what these characters see and feel and think within that world that they've been set in. I've seen a lot of reviews where they talk about how that Brenner's really found his footing with this film, in that it's his third one in the trilogy. Even though he did a solid job with this, I think he did better jobs in the first two films. I know I keep going back to them and I keep talking about them because I really enjoyed them. I loved the world and the experiences that we had with these characters and the mysteries in those two movies. While this has the mystery and the darkness that the other two had in a little bit, it just sort of is a departure. And for me, it's a little bit too much of a departure. I'm not saying it's a bad film. I really did thoroughly enjoy it. I like when he makes these movies. I like the worlds that we're introduced to. The music was really great. The whole atmosphere of the film I really loved. It felt like a film that maybe Roman Polanski could have done and crafted a really spooky and atmospheric film. I always look forward to when Kenneth Branagh directs, because his movies are really interesting, and I think as he's gotten older, his filmmaking ability has sort of grown and become really fascinating. If you're a fan of the first two films, it's definitely worth checking out. Final thoughts. In the end, like I said, it's departure, but it's still a very interesting film, and it is set in the Agatha Christie world, and it really has Poirot questioning things, questioning why he left being a detective, questioning whether what he's seeing is real or not, and questioning his life as a person and his existence. And I thought that was a really fascinating thing to do, and it was really about him in a lot of ways, this movie, compared to the other two. I'm going to give A Haunting in Venice 4 out of 5. In the end, I did have fun with this movie and I did enjoy myself. I just feel there was something missing for me, and I don't quite know what it was, and maybe on a second viewing I might work it out, but yes, I didn't enjoy this film as much as the previous two. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Letterboxd and Facebook. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.